This is where we're going to identify what the actual sensation is by letting the body speak to you rather than letting the mind tell you what it should be. Embodied business. Welcome to another episode of the Embodied Business Show. This is a solo episode with me, your host, Case Warwick. One of the most common questions that I receive from both my clients and people publicly is, I just don't know how to connect to the body. So this is going to be a quick little 5-minute episode to really allow you to recalibrate, connect back in, and actually allow yourself to move the emotions that you need to move. A lot of people spend years in therapy. They spend so much money on multiple coaches trying to understand what it means to be embodied. And the real truth of it is it's so simple. And I don't mean to shame you when I say that, but the part that you are absolutely disconnected from is you're trying to know your way through the body, and you just can't do that. There's 3 little steps that I give all of my clients, all of my people that I work with to actually connect in with the body. That first step is 1, take a moment just to close down your eyes and take a deep breath. As you take a deep breath, feel into the sensations that you're feeling in the body. Don't identify them, just feel them. It might be tingles, it might be tightness, it might be heaviness, whatever that sensation is, just be with that for a moment. And let yourself really explore it, right? When we start to understand sensations, what that tells me is, 1, there is a message from, moving through your body that your brain can start to comprehend what's actually happening in the body. So we have to be able to physically feel the sensation. What most people do here is they go, oh, I've got a pain in my chest, it's instantly sadness. Or, oh, I've got this pain in my gut, that means I'm giving my power away, or I'm not in my power. They instantly assume what the sensation is without fully feeling the sensation. So first one, always take a deep breath, close down the eyes, tune into the body and find the sensation. The second one, once you've actually felt the sensation, really take a moment with that feeling of the body and just be like, what are you here for? What's alive right now in this sensation? Ask the question. And your body is going to begin to speak to you. If you're actually fully present with it, you might get, I'm feeling really hurt right now, or I'm feeling sad, or I'm feeling anger. Caveat, most people are feeling anger as a mask, and it's usually the bottleneck to the rest of the emotions. If your emotional home is anger, or if it's sadness, or if as soon as you're emotional, you go to crying, you are going to default to that immediately. But what I want you to do here is look beyond that. So for me, as an example of this, is I would constantly feel angry. Every time something was heightened, every time something felt big for me, every time an emotion was like alive, straight away, boom, anger. I'm angry. That was my way of controlling, because anger, people were scared of that, so I could control the outcome. So what I had to learn was like, actually, hold on, there's anger there. Let me just move that out of the way. What's under the anger? More times than I can recall, and more times than any other emotion, under the anger was actually a hurt little girl. And so that would show up in my relationship. Every time a Bane would hurt me unconsciously by saying something small that he didn't realize was actually hurting me, I would get angry, I would get triggered, and I would say the thing. So he would think it was anger. But what we weren't doing was actually addressing the emotion that it was rising within me. So it was hurting me. Why was it hurting you? What was here? What was alive? And so what we want to do is like going to the sensation. What is it here? What is it trying to tell you? This is where we're going to identify what the actual sensation is by letting the body speak to you rather than letting the mind tell you what it should be. Okay. Once you've then got that emotion, take a moment and really, like, this is step number 3, take a moment and just be like, okay, why am I really hurt here? What story have I made this mean about myself? Because more often than not, the reason why we're impacted negatively, I'm going to say negatively, with emotion is because we've made up a story about ourselves that concludes this. Give you an example. My partner has a million stories about how life should be and what life should do. And the minute he says something like, for example, he came back from retreat the other day, and he said to me, I had guests over, the house was a bit of a mess. And every time I go away on retreat, I come back to a beautifully clean house. And because we had guests over, I had not had a chance to clean the house to the level at which he usually would come home to. And he said to me, hey, babe, I just want to point this out to you for a moment that when you go away on retreat, there's an expectation that you come home to a clean house. And I've noticed that that same standard isn't held for me. And he goes, I just want to point that out. And I was like, okay. I was like, and I straight away went into like, oh, but I had this on. I got defensive and I'd made a story up that, you know what, he thinks I'm like not showing up for him and all these sorts of pieces. And once I actually was able to quieten those stories of like what I made it up and made it mean about me, I realized that, okay, under this, there's a part of me that feels guilty because I actually didn't hold the same level of integrity that I expect from him. And so I got to address that guilt and be like, okay, how I acted, guilt is actually a form of acting out of alignment with our values, right? So I was like, okay, how I acted was out of alignment with the values. So I was able to go, cool, awesome. I'm feeling guilty for this. I'm really sorry that I didn't meet you in that. And my commitment to you is I'm going to make sure that when you come home for a retreat, it's there. Obviously, as I said, a lot more relaxed and a lot more freely. But this is what the body's trying to tell us. The defense, the anger that I had when he first brought that to me, it was actually protecting me from accessing the guilt that was within my body. So invitation here, when something's alive in the body, take the time to slow down. All of that process, especially the one with the guilt that I just shared at the last minute, that took me a matter of like 5 minutes to be alive with it. And for so many people, they're not actually accessing the emotions and it's taking them out for days because they're not willing to be with it. Think about how many times you've had something happen and suddenly you're cranky or you're pissed or you're arguing for days with your partner because you're not willing to access the part of you that's really actually alive. What I want you to know is this part isn't just ruling your relationships, it's ruling your business, it's running the show across the board. If you really want to be an embodied, powerful leader, you must understand how to access the body so it can remove the charge and allow you to move forward. I really hope this has helped you. If this helped you, please share it across your platforms, social medias, or even like DM me on Instagram so I know that this has supported you. It's so incredibly important. Powerful women create powerful spaces, and we can only do that with the safety of our own body. So I hope this has supported you. Have a beautiful day. Until next time. Embodied.